What is up, guys? Welcome to RollPlay R&D. My name is JP McDaniel, and I'm joined by the rest of the cast, which, as it's our first show, we're going to do some introductions. But you guys should know pretty much everyone on the show. Wheat, why don't you do some introductions about yourself?
My name's djWHEAT. You might know me as Fricks in the now canceled Dark Heresy campaign. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just trolling
Oh my
everyone.
God, JP.
I thought that would be a good, just break the ice. No, I'm excited for the concept of the show, which I think everyone's going to find out about. I'm really a big fan of this. So thanks for having me, and let's do this.
Sweet stuff. Steven, as now part of the defunct Dark Heresy crew
Yeah,
and part of the new
yeah.
show, what's going on? Why don't you introduce yourself?
I'm Steven Lumpkin. I'm a level designer on Warhammer 40,000 Eternal Crusade, which is why I was running the now canceled Dark Heresy show. It's not canceled, you guys. Jesus. It's not. It's not. We're currently working on scheduling the very next session.
Yes.
I'm super excited about this. We'll get to what game we're running very soon, but I love this game and I can't wait to share it with you guys.
Awesome stuff. And last but not least, Maggie, why don't you introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Margaret Luperza Crone. So I think that's what it says right there, right?
Yes.
I used to be a game designer on PlanetSide 2 and Free Realms and Clone Wars Adventures, so I've kind of been in the gaming industry for a while, and now I'm the community manager for PlanetSide 2, and I like to play games.
There you go.
That's it.
You're in the right place if you like to play games. I guess just to start off with, what the hell is this show? So this is the fourth, and I'm calling it, guys, it's the final show. 4 is the limit. I can't go past that. 4 is the full number of roleplay shows at any point that can be in existence. So RollPlay R&D stands for Roleplay Research and Development, and what it is basically, I think, Steve, you messaged me a while back, and you were kind of thinking we should maybe do another campaign, and I at first I think I was a little bit reluctant when you brought it up, but eventually I was like, yeah, we probably should. And I didn't want to focus on a single game, and I think that was what hooked me into this. So this show is a campaign that'll last 4 to 8 weeks. And after that 4 to 8 weeks, we say 4 to 8 because we don't know how long it'll take to wrap up any individual campaign. We will be switching systems, games completely. Like, we may go from something that is steampunk to something that is like Dark Heresy or 40K or just any of the billion of different tabletop games out there. And it's really actually, I think, a lot more fun for characters because everyone loves making characters. So we get to do that every 4 to 8 weeks. And this is the core cast, if you will. There may or may not be a fifth person joining the show in every campaign. There may even be a fifth person joining the show next episode. We're not sure. That we're kind of playing it loose and free and keeping it fun and trying not to stick to any one thing, which I think is going to be a lot of fun. So, Steve, why don't you introduce what the first game that we're going to be playing is?
Yeah, so the first game that we're going to be playing is a game called Apocalypse World, and it's just apocalypse-world.com. And it's like when we talk about a game like Dungeons and Dragons, where you're tracking the amount of ammunition you have and the amount of oil you have for your lamps and the amount of weight that you're carrying, a game like that is sometimes called simulationist because you're really paying attention to everything, and those details develop the story. A game like Apocalypse World is what we call narrativist, and we don't have ammo in Apocalypse World. If it seems cool for the players to run out of ammo, then they will, because that's what a narrativist game is. It takes a little bit of extra trust on the side of the players to know that I'm not gonna be a dick about it. But
I kind of hope you are, though, at some point.
at some points I certainly will be.
Perfect.
So I figured what I would do is I would read the back pitch from Apocalypse World just to get everybody into the mood. Then we would go through character generation and we'd talk about the core rules of the game.
Sure.
And then we'll kick it off.
Awesome.
So here it is. Something's wrong with the world. and I don't know what it is. It used to be better, of course it did. In the golden age of legend, when there was enough to eat and enough hope, when there was one nation under God and people could lift their eyes and see beyond the horizon, beyond the day. Children were born happy and grew up rich. Now that's not what we've got. Now we've got this. Hardholders stand against the screaming elements and all comers, keeping safe as many as they can. Angels and savvy heads run constant battle against there's not enough, and bullets fly, and everything breaks. Hocuses gather people around them, and are they protectors, saviors, visionaries, or just wishful thinkers? Choppers, gunluggers, and battle babes carve out what they can and defend it with blood and bullets. Drivers and operators search and scavenge, looking for that opportunity, that one perfect chance. Skinners remember beauty, or invent beauty anew, cup it in their hands and whisper, "Come and see, and don't worry now about what it will cost you." And brainers, oh, brainers see what none of the rest of us will. The world's psychic maelstrom, the terrible desperation and hate pressing in at the edge of all perception. It is the world now. And you, who are you? This is what we've got, yes? What are you gonna make of it? So that comes straight from the Apocalypse World website. And this is a game set in a post-apocalyptic world. The only thing that we really know at the moment is that there was an apocalypse sometime between 50 to 100 years ago. And two, there's this psychic maelstrom that's sort of, you can feel it in your brain if you just sort of open yourself a little bit. And you can sometimes get things out of it, and sometimes it gets things out of you. So we were thinking about, DJ, you mentioned that there was this comic series that you really liked, and it's called, what's it called?
It's called Crossed.
Crossed.
Yeah.
And what's the core conceit behind that?
So the core behind Crossed is that Crossed is a comic. It's a great little set of reads, by the way. And the whole concept of it's based on the idea that you become infected with this something, and you sort of become true evil. You lose any sort of idea, any concept of humanity. You sort of know about that you have to eat, you have to kill, and you have to fuck. It's just sort of this like crazy, sort of, I guess the whole world is devolved when you're infected. And the whole book in itself is about these survivors that, have to deal with what the impending apocalypse as it's taking place. Of course, you can imagine when something like that happens, core infrastructures of everything break down. So I kind of came up with the concept that, well, what happens if you throw in a bunch of extra years in there? What happens then? So I don't know if you want me to keep going, but that's essentially the concept of Cross.
No, that's great. Let's so the world that we're in is not the world of Crossed. It's our own world.
Right.
But it's based on that idea. So I think we can all agree. And the way this game works, it's very much interactive. Like the GM doesn't come up with everything and just throw it out there. It also builds on what the players give me. So that came from djWHEAT, and I really liked it. So the idea is that sometime, a couple hundred years ago, maybe 100 years ago, some infection spread and it burnt out the inhibition centers in people's brains, and they just went crazy. But they're still really smart. So that's kind of the core of where we're at. So, Wheat, what were you thinking of playing in Apocalypse World?
I was thinking about playing a gunlugger.
Cool. A gunlugger. Can you tell us what the gunlugger's deal is?
So the gunlugger is basically someone who sort of holds on to the basin concept that, what's yours is yours only as long as you can actually hold on to it. And so for that reason, you know, have your own motivations to protect what is yours and then what you choose to protect. So you sort of do that by being a, you know, a gun lugger and using force and violence as your sort of solution to a lot of things. And so I felt like in this world, especially, that really matched up how I would, you know, how I would see myself playing a character. So that was
Awesome.
what I chose.
Oh, I want to throw out a disclaimer very early on. This show is going to be rated R, like
Yeah.
R.
Yeah.
There's probably going to be sex. There's probably going
Yeah.
to be
In
violence.
fact, just to speak about there is something called the special, right? The class special, and
Yeah,
the entire
every class
class
has a
special
special.
is if you have sex with this person, you get X.
Yeah.
So there's
Yeah.
gonna probably be a lot of ridiculousness in this show.
Yeah.
Is all I'm saying.
So I can't wait. All
Yeah,
right,
it's gonna be
JP,
fun.
what are you thinking of playing? You have like 2 characters you were thinking about, right?
Yeah, well, I had one that was always going to be the one, but the other one in case someone else wanted to be this one. But I want to be the driver.
Awesome.
Oh shit.
Yes.
So the
What's the deal with
driver,
the driver?
the driver just drives a car, and that's kind of his thing. That's all he does, from what I can tell. And we'll go into my actual character, I guess, when we start actually doing that. But
Yeah.
I'm the driver, and I'm excited about it.
And Maggie, have you had any additional thoughts in the last 5
man.
minutes?
There's so many choices. So I've had like a few options that I've liked because, oh man, the Touchstone seems like a really OP class to me. And I'm like a min-maxer when I play games. I don't know why, but I just do it. And I love the idea of either like Battle Jesus, which is like the Touchstone plus not to be fucked with, which is basically it gives you, it makes you count as a gang in battle, which I think is ridiculous.
That's
Yes.
pretty cool.
Or
yeah.
the
That is
other
pretty
option is
awesome.
Inspiring, which all others mark XP whenever they help you, which I think could be really beneficial. And if you don't know what the Touchstone is all about, they kind of can make and manipulate people into doing whatever they want. So they kind of just go into places and, you know, make people either feel, you know, like they want to, like you're offering them hope, or you're exploiting their hope, or you're like acting with hope. And I think it's kind of an interesting concept in an apocalyptic world or post-apocalyptic world. I also really like the idea of playing a hocus. So I don't know. I'm just kind of like between those two. That's really what I've been thinking, and I'm leaning more towards the Touchstone because I think it would kind
Touchstone
of
or
mix with what the other 2 guys are trying to play and make it so that we have like, you know,
We could be a
plethora of
traveling
options.
band of Jesus freaks preaching
yeah.
the good word.
Yeah,
And if
and then
someone
the
fucks
other
with us,
option-
Marcus
no,
is the
no.
one that kills him.
Dude, the other option, JP, if you go driver, is my other car is a tank.
Oh, that'd be pretty
Like, pretty sick, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm pretty sure I want to do Touchstone, but
good. It's
there's
a
like
Lambo, by the way, not a tank. But
I can't
My other car is a Lambo.
yeah.
I can't choose what the, you know, the option is that I want. Basically, I get another move from another class's handbook. So I just gotta choose that one, and I think maybe I'll, you know, kind of work with these 2 and figure out which one
So you're
best
still
fits our
stuck on
classes.
classes? You're still not sure which class you want?
No, I think I'm gonna go with the Touchstone, but I'm
Okay.
debating what. So basically, I get another move from another class's handbook,
Right.
Right.
and I've been debating between either not to be fucked with, reputation, which is actually allows me to like pretty much sway whatever I want out of people. Like I can make them see me however I want, and that
Sure.
really helps me in the sense of that I am Touchstone, right? And then Inspiring, or my other car's a tank. So I'm kind of just stuck at that point.
All right, cool. Well, let's start with Wheat. You're gonna make your gun lugger. So do you have your playbook open?
I do.
Awesome. So
And I'm showing
Yeah,
this
I
on
mean-
screen, by the way. Your playbook is on the stream.
awesome.
Probably
Oh.
get copyright infringement for that, but I don't care.
And you're just gonna fill
Oh,
it out
no.
as well?
I won't fill
Yeah.
it out. I mean, he will, but I won't do it on stream.
Okay.
So go ahead and look at the options for your name.
I mean, do I have to do these options?
No, you can choose whatever
Oh,
you
man.
want.
Wheat's got his own name.
My name is Evan Masters. That's my
Evan
name.
Masters.
Yes.
So what do we call you, Masters?
Whatever you want to
Evan.
call me.
Evan Masters. All right, Evan Masters. Awesome. What about your look, Evan? How do you look?
So, really, Evan Masters is pretty much, you look at him and it is the cliche, like this is what badass is in the dictionary. So, sort of almost Mad Maxed out in a way, but with kind of a large cloak that he wears over himself to make sure that he can have some level of concealment and kind of move around as he wills, not to bring a bunch of attention. But when he throws it off, underneath he's got rows of ammunition and munitions strapped around him with pockets full of more munitions and things that blow up and things to light other things on fire. On my back, I've carrying my weapons, and that's kind of what you see. As far as what he looks like, he just sort of has some short, kind of spiky hair, maybe even similar to myself, and he's dirty because it's the fucking apocalypse, so he's dirty.
Awesome. Can you go down the look column on your sheet and tell us one choice from each category?
Yeah. So, obviously, like, sort of well, I guess it's a man. Like, it's pretty obvious that that I'm a man, and all of the armor is definitely sort of scrounged and mismatched, but it's to his liking. And there's some evident battle scars on Evan. Not only does he have a large scar that just sort of goes across his face, which is, by the way, self-inflicted just to make him look a little bit more badass.
Okay.
He does have some actual bullet wounds, on the shoulders, and some scrapes on the back that he's gotten over time. As far as his eyes, you could just tell that it's a very intelligent individual, but there's just something a little bit off, whether that's kind of crazy or whether that's maybe just sort of that I don't give a fuck attitude. It's a little bit difficult to figure out. And then a fairly average build, like not gonna pass as Arnold Schwarzenegger stunt double, but looks pretty good. Might show up in like People's 100, top 100 sexiest men, if that still existed, and it was for like maniac killers that only wanted certain things, like reality television archives, like any sort of reality television they could find, or any sort of drugs. He's heavily into any sort of post-apocalyptic drugs that he might be able to get his hands on, and always a cat, because it's the one thing that he misses the most from.
What does he miss? A cat?
A cat. He misses having a cat.
Aw.
Did he have cats in his former life, or prior to shit going bad, or has he only known shit to go bad?
Well, I mean, I only knew that shit was bad, but even then, like, I searched for reality television.
Yeah.
JP.
Okay.
Right? Like, it's something that in the post-apocalyptic world, it's really rare, and you can barter with it.
Right.
And in doing that, I mean, the other really sort of low-level currency is cat videos. So
yeah.
It's just something that I just, I wish I had a cat.
Can these videos, can like VHS be the only form of media in this new world, in this apocalypse world? Can we not have like CDs
Oh my
and DVDs?
gosh, that's
Absolutely.
terrible.
Yes.
VHS is
So
So
the
on
CDs and
my
everything
my
fried.
music heart is broken.
Yeah, on my person, I always have at least 15 or so first to third generation VHS copies of various tapes.
VHS
Awesome.
and like tape decks is for music.
All right, sorry, we kind of went off
Tape
track.
decks like that.
No, that's so good.
I'm
Tape
imagining
decks.
him being like a gunslinger with like a giant boombox, just like rocking out
Someone
with his
brings
cat
up
on his shoulder.
a good point. No Betamax. I would think that VHS was lost and that Betamaxes were never really used, but they just made a shit ton of them. So why don't we make Betamax while they watch the videos?
Betamax is really rare. I think VHS is.
You think?
I think
All right,
you were-
we're
Okay.
gonna say that Betamax is like super desired,
Okay.
but VHS is the common
just
currency.
because it
So
is higher
Betamax is
quality.
like,
It is higher quality. Yeah,
rare.
Betamax is higher quality, so I
Okay.
like that.
Okay.
Awesome.
good.
All right, Maggie, can we move on to you?
Sure.
You have your Touchstone playbook up, right?
Yeah, I have it up. So we're just
Can you-
going over
can
what we're
you-
gonna look like.
Yeah, can you choose a name and then go down the look column and tell me one from each category?
All right. And I don't have to choose a name that's in here, right?
Nope, you can choose any name.
They have some interesting names in here, but I think I'm gonna go with Emberly. And you can just call me like Ember for short or something like that. And I guess out of my look options, I think I'm gonna be a woman just because like I am a woman, and I think that that's easy to relate to.
There's nothing
this
wrong
sense.
with playing a woman in a role play. There's nothing
We
wrong.
need more women in role play.
That's right.
There's
It's
never
true.
enough.
There you go. There you go.
Hopefully, no one in the group attempts to like fornicate with me though, because I
Well,
can manipulate you.
I mean that.
Well, we got to get our bonuses, Maggie. Like, what? Fuck.
Yeah, I thought you were a min-maxer.
God damn.
Oh man, oh man. And I think I'm going to be wearing survival gear because that's one of the options that I have here. So pretty much, I think I would have everything that I would need to live if I, got straight away from like the people that I'm normally with, and or at least get me to the next location that I need to get to. Because I am a touchstone, I feel like my appearance should be something that makes people feel welcome around me. So I think I will just go with the sweet face option and calm eyes, so people feel like they're calm around me, and yeah, I think that'll work. djWHEAT's options are way more badass. I'm kind of jelly now. I was kind of tempted to be a battle babe because I'm just like, that sounds freaking awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, but now you're Jesus. So
I know,
Yeah,
I'm
Battle
pretty much
Jesus.
like battle Jesus, so I think that's equally as freaking
Totally.
awesome.
So, Emberly, how about your body?
So I'm not really sure where I'm going with this one. I think maybe I just want to be like athletic, but I think you were saying initially that we were going to be like sexy, badass people. So I think I'm still going to be in that realm, but just more like average, but like buff, not buff, but just like toned.
No, that sounds great. Athletic body, no problem.
Yeah, I mean we're in a post-apocalyptic situation. I probably kick some ass. I do try to go the other route if I can, but which is funny because Wheat's character goes the opposite. So I think there should be some interesting exchanges between our characters.
Good. All right, let's hear from our driver.
All right,
JP,
let
what's your
me
name?
Pull up the sheet. My name.
I just keep thinking Fast and the Furious and putting like JP in that situation.
My name is gonna be Bubba.
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 Bubba. And I guess I'll just go down this. The look is that I am a man. I have I've got vintage wear. I have a gorgeous face. Cool eyes and a pudgy body.
Awesome. A little incongruous when people look at you from face to body and then.
No. People know me by the driver's license that I have, which is just my face. So they
Just
think
the
that
face?
I'm gorgeous, right?
Okay,
But
awesome.
then they get the full package and they start to wonder a little bit.
They're a little disappointed.
Yeah.
So you just have like your face on the front and back of your car?
No, just on my driver's license.
Oh, just on your driver's license.
Yeah, so in this world, like driver's license are incredibly
What's
rare.
going to be your license plate? Is it just
It's gonna say Lambo on it because that's the name of my car.
Oh, awesome.
Never saw that one coming.
Yeah.
Never.
This is planned from many moons ago. Wheat.
JP,
yeah.
what is your driver's license made out of? Because nobody has the machine to cut cards these days.
Right. So my driver's license is made out of. I've run over a lot of people accidentally, just because I am a driver and I'm a little bit reckless. So instead of honoring their corpses and their bodies and not letting anything go to waste in this apocalyptic world, I've taken their skin and just sewn it together so it's good enough to be able to draw and write on, and then I got a picture and stitched it to the skin and got a burning tool and burned with the information on the driver's license into the skin.
Wow.
wow?
I'd like to suggest that then JP found a library and did laminate that.
Yeah,
Actually,
yeah.
paper is more rare than a lamination, piece.
A lamination
And so he actually used the skin, but then went and laminated that. So
Right. Right.
Yeah, I like
Just
you,
wow.
buddy.
All right, delightful.
Wait, what
Okay,
was? Oh, Bubba.
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 Can I call you Bubba P or just Bubba?
We'll see. You might the character. Some of the other stuff that I have to choose. We might be long time friends. We'll see. You can choose on a nickname then.
Okay.
All right, so let's each of you look at your stats. I'll go through these, and now's a great time to mention the core mechanic of the game.
Sure.
So cool lets you do something under fire. So like if you're in a stressful situation, you can roll cool to be able to, act well. If you've been narco stabbed and you're like out of it because you've been drugged, that's doing something under fire. If you've been stunned by like a punch to the head, that's doing something under fire. Fire can be really anything that's threatening you. If you're trying to sneak somewhere, then you can be doing it under fire, and the fire is how badly it's going to hurt when they find you.
Okay.
So the core mechanic is you roll 2d6 and you add your stat. On a 10 plus, you do what you wanted to do. On a 7 to 9, you do what you wanted, but there's a consequence. Usually that's something that I tell you. On a 6 or less, I get to tell you what happens, and you won't like it.
Okay.
Hard is a stat that it talks about like
That grin.
it's how cold you are, how hard you are, how much you can dish out and take. That lets you go aggro on people and seize things by force.
Okay.
Hot is how hot you are, lets you seduce or manipulate people. Something like threatening someone with violence, if you don't intend to go through with it, that could be seduce or manipulate. If you do intend to go through with it, it's going aggro. If you are trying to bluff, that can be a manipulate roll. Sharp is how clever and quick you are. If you are good at reading situations and reading people, then you're a very sharp person. And weird is it lets you open your brain to the psychic maelstrom, which anybody can do. It's a basic move, and it gives you information about things. You also have another stat to the right of those columns called HX, and that's history. And that describes your relationship with the other characters at the table. Okay, so go down your stat line. You see under the stats column, you choose one set of those and then just write them all in the columns.
Okay.
And once you've chosen, just pipe up and say, hey, Steven, here's the stat line I chose.
All right. So
oh,
I've
go
got
ahead.
mine already.
Go ahead, Meg. Yep.
Or maybe should we go in the order that we came in when we talked about our characters first?
No, it's fine. Go ahead, Meg.
Okay, cool. So I'm actually going to go with the sharp option just because, like you said, I am someone who really gets people. So I'm going to go with that one. So I'm going to go 0 cool, 2 hard, -1 hot. So that kind of goes with my thing that I said. I'm just average tone chick. 2 sharp and -1 weird. So I'm going to go with that option.
Awesome. And Wheat, how about you?
I have 1 cool, 2 hard, -1 hot, 1 sharp, and 0 weird.
How much sharp? 1
1
sharp and 0 weird. Awesome. JP,
Some questions.
how's our driver?
What exactly is hard again? As
Hard
were
lets you
doing
go
that, just fix an
aggro or
overlay.
seized by force. So that's like, it's how hard you are. It's how cold you are, how much you can swing your weight around and really like bully people.
Okay, and what was hot?
Hot is, it's hotness, JP. It's how hot you are.
Okay, well, I would think that in the spirit of my character, I'd go with 0 cool, 1 hard.
0.
Shut up, Marcus. I knew exactly where you're going with that. 1 hard, -1 hot, +2 sharp, and -1 weird.
2 sharp and -1 weird. Awesome. That's the third stat line there. 0,
Yes.
1, -1, 2, 1. Oh, no, -1. Yep. Awesome. Very cool. Okay, so each of you look at your moves. You get all the basic moves. For example, for JP, you also get a no-shit driver, and then you get to choose 1 second driver move. So
Okay.
each of you, please go ahead and do that now.
Choose our second driver mood.
Yeah.
Or, sorry, what class move?
Yeah.
Here, I'll show this on screen.
Wait, can you explain that again, Steve, one more time?
So I'm looking at Evan Masters, the gun lugger. You've got a column that says moves.
Right.
It says you get all the basic moves. Choose 3 gun lugger moves. So over on the
Right.
very right-hand side of the screen, there's gun lugger moves. Battle
Right. Just
hardened,
choose
fuck
from
this
those.
shit.
Right. Okay.
Choose
Okay.
3 of those.
Right. Right. Okay. So just basically follow what the class sheet says.
Yeah, exactly. So Maggie, have you chosen your moves?
Oh man, this is the hardest part. So, uh, under the class moves or under the additional rules, the extra move that I get?
Now, I don't think you actually get to choose at character creation from other playbooks.
It says during character creation, you
Oh,
might
here it
choose a
is.
move from another playbook. These
Yes.
aren't your own choices, just a selection, or these aren't your only choices. These are just a selection. So I can choose one of the options that are actually in that playbook, or I can go choose one that's in another
To
playbook.
any other playbook. Yes, that's if you've taken the long history touchstone move. So as a touchstone, you get all the basic moves. You get visionary, which you already have checked, and then you get to choose 2 more touchstone moves. And one of those could be long history, which gives you another character's move.
Gotcha. All right.
How about you? What the hell is your name? Evan Masters.
Evan. Well, first off, I know I will be choosing the move not to be fucked with.
Yes.
And so, I mean, I'm debating a little bit because we don't have much. At least I don't think we have any healing potential in our group, just inherently in our classes.
Mhm.
So, I've got the ability. Now, there's this prepared for the inevitable, which basically says you have a well-stocked and high-quality first aid kit. It counts as an angel kit CF with a capacity of 2 stock.
Mhm.
Is that something that's like a one-time use? Am I just spending a point in a move that is like something I will just have until it heals up? And
No way. You can definitely buy more stock. 1 barter generally gets you 2 stock, so
okay,
you can
okay,
recover that.
all right. So it's recoverable. It just allows me to start with that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, and I could buy one anyway.
Uh, if you were to buy one, then I would probably count that as your next improvement, since
Sure.
it's a move taken from your class.
I see. I see. Okay.
But I'd give it to you right now.
So, I mean, for the sake of protecting our party from bad rolls, I'll go ahead and I'll grab this as
Prepared for the inevitable.
yeah.
So what the fuck happened to you, Evan, that made you realize you need to be carrying around a first aid kit? Like generally, you've usually been able to get help from other people when you needed it. What changed?
I mean, what hasn't happened? At this point, I think that I can think back to one of the many instances that I've seen out there in the world that's sort of prepared me in the way it has. But to be honest with you, I was chased down by a crazed fat man wearing a necklace of penises, and he had a pitchfork.
That was not me, by the way. That was someone
He
else.
stabbed me. It wasn't. I can confirm that. He stabbed me with said pitchfork just right on the left ass cheek. It's one of the many scars that I have. And
Yeah.
at that point, I wasn't carrying a first aid kit, and
Okay.
I caught pretty bad infection. It should have been
Yeah.
something that shouldn't have held me down, but I was held down within a barn for
Yeah.
about 2.5 months trying to
With
get better. So
with an ass infection.
that's right.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's my
What
second one, and last but not least, I'm gonna choose Blood Crazed.
what was his name? That guy that stabbed you with the pitchfork.
I don't know. He yelled some gibberish at me. I just called him Guy with the Cock Necklace.
Yeah.
and that was,
You only knew him as the Penis Man.
yeah.
Penis Man.
Well, no, I've seen plenty.
Oh, you've seen a lot of
where
Penis
those.
Men?
There's,
Okay.
there's too many guys to call this one the Penis Man.
Okay.
I don't know. I frankly I don't think they don't have names to me anymore. They just are descriptions of what I
Yep.
saw. I
Yep.
have to remember them. So
Okay.
He just remembers the guy's cock necklace.
Yeah, let's just call him Cock then. Screw
he
it, right?
stabbed me in the ass with a pitchfork, and I didn't have a first aid kit. This is why I'm always prepared for the inevitable.
Okay.
Awesome. Driver.
Yeah.
Bubba. What are your moves?
How
You've
many
got a
moves?
second
So
driver.
I get a no shit driver, which is already
Yeah.
inherent, and I get one more.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's my other car as a tank.
Yes.
I mean,
You get an additional car. Give it mounted machine guns, 3 harm, close, far, area, messy, or grenade launchers.
grenade launchers right off.
Grenade launchers,
Yeah.
awesome. And +1 armor, sweet. What's a no shit driver do for you?
It does a lot of stuff. I mean, I could just read this off. It basically gives me my car's stuff when my car's powers and whatnot, my additional car rolls when I go to do different actions.
Yeah, if you're in your car, you add your car's stats to all of your roll.
Yeah.
So that's pretty awesome. Okay, cool.
Wow.
Maggie, we're back to you.
All right.
Miss,
So I just
Amber-
have one question because it wasn't like really laid out there. We continually get more moves as we go on, right?
Yep. So the
Okay.
way you improve, down in the improvement box here, you've got these 5 little circles next to experience, and the 5th one has a little arrow in it. Every time you roll a highlighted stat, and we'll highlight stats at the start of every game, or your history with a character goes to +4, or a move tells you to, you mark one of those experience points. When you hit the 5th one, you erase them all, and you get a new improvement, and that could be a new move from your class.
Gotcha. Sick. Okay, so then it would be just absolutely silly for me not to go with long history because I
Awesome.
get something from another class.
Yep.
So because JP took my other my other car as a tank,
Yep.
I don't really feel like I need to do that as much unless we want 2 tanks because that's pretty freaking badass.
Oh, I
But-
mean, I can choose something else if Steve allows it, and you can take that.
No, I
Up to
think,
you guys.
I mean, I could
doesn't
choose
it-
collector, and then I get 2 additional cars, so then we could have my car plus 2 additional cars and a tank.
Yeah, that's true.
Does it change any of his bonuses if he's driving someone else's car?
Yeah. Does it say that anywhere in the rules?
If he's
I think it has to be one of his cars, just because his cars have stats.
there,
Okay.
If he picks up a car and then like makes it his car, then yeah, he's gonna be able to
So
choose
if I like
stats
gift
for
him
it.
the car, I wouldn't do that. Sorry, JP. No, maybe. I think actually, since you did go that way, I think it's going to be better for us as a party if I go reputation because then
Okay.
I can control my reputation, and it gives me plus
Reputation.
cool, which I don't get by default because of the stats I
Cool.
chose. And I
Gotcha.
think that that's going to be a really good bonus for us in manipulating people and getting what we want in the future.
Oh, when it says roll plus cool, that means you roll and add your cool to the 2d6 roll.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
So it doesn't say how much. It says reputation roll plus. Oh, you mean instead of what I
Yeah,
normally
you would
do?
roll. You would roll +0, but
Okay, never mind.
you
That's
still
not-
have a perfectly reasonable chance to hit 7 through 9 on a 2d6, or even 10 plus. It'll be a little rare, but it's not crazy, right?
Yeah, it's not crazy. Okay, well then never mind. I'm not gonna go that. I guess I thought that it was going to give me plus cool
Right.
based on that. I guess it's worded a little different. So I'm gonna go with not to be fucked with then. I count as a gang in battle. So I'm
Awesome.
just gonna be battle Jesus. Bring it on.
Sounds good.
So, hang on. Did you and Bubba, or not Bubba, did you and Evan know each other? Because like you both count as gangs in battles. Did you like learn from someone how to be so incredibly brutal on the battlefield, or?
Do we want to combine our stories?
you tell me.
All right. Well, you kind of have like your story already built out. What was your gang all about? And then I'll figure out if I want to be part of that, I guess.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't say that I'm necessarily a part of a gang. I'm fucking the one man gang.
Yeah, it counts as a gang when he fights.
My
It's like
my whole
when you fight him, it's like fighting 5 people.
Yeah, exactly. My whole thing, Ember, is just all about being out for justice, but it's my interpretation of justice as it stands. And I would hope that we could actually end this apocalypse. So that's my motivation. If I have to kill every fucking infected thing out there to end this apocalypse, then that's what I'm gonna do.
Okay, no, I love this. I think that we should come from different storylines, but I think that we
Okay.
should meet up and both be of the same. So basically, my thing is the same thing. Like I feel the same way. I want to spread kind of like hope that there is a new future out there. And maybe it's not the future that we had in the past, or maybe it's not like the civilization we had in the past, but it's definitely a better future. And I think that we can take steps in order to make that happen as a civilization, as a society. And you know, it's gonna take time, obviously, and it's gonna take some dedication, which, you know, not everybody's willing to do. And I'm of the same thing. Like, you know, if we got to kill some people to get what we need in life, we're going to do it.
Gotta have
So I
Some
think
people
that's
gotta die.
yeah. So I think I'm going to be in the same boat as him, but maybe like the way that I've come about it is a little different. You know, I've had to survive
Sure.
and make my way, you know, here. And as I've gone, I've tried to like help people as much as I possibly can. And that's kind of how I've become so powerful, I guess, in that sense.
So like
And
you
confident.
used to be someone who was a total badass because you have this long history, right? And you in a previous life, you learned how to fight like multiple people. You know, what was that about?
All right. I think
And
it
what
might be kind of neat if I, you know, maybe had some martial arts training or something like that in the past life. So I was maybe working on, you know, like my master's in something of that sort and just trying to, you know, keep my mind and soul and body in shape. And then madness happened. So
what what made you change?
change as far as,
Well, like nowadays you're more interested in hope and you know, spreading the good word, right? You've still got this history, but it's not your core focus anymore.
all right. I think that for me, it's more so that I don't think that violence is always the way, and I think that there are other ways to solve issues and hope that there is, you know, humanity in some sense, even though like people are just kind of running amok and killing each other for what they need. I think that there's still deep inside everyone has something within them that they can move forward with, and I want to be part of that.
Beautiful. Okay, so you get a second touchstone move. What is that? Because you took visionary and long history, and you get another one.
Maggie, you muted your mic somehow.
Whoa.
No,
Yeah, I know.
Steve,
I
yours is
muted
good.
it. Yeah, I
okay.
muted it while I was
Oh,
sliding.
okay,
'Cause
okay.
I didn't want, you know, to hear my clicking and stuff. So I think I'm going to go with Indomitable. So when you go into battle, roll plus hard on a 10 plus, hold 3. And then on 7 and 9, I get to hold 2. On a miss, I get to hold 1. So I can basically like disarm or kill somebody or disable somebody or,
Awesome.
you know, whatever option I get.
Before we
And
move on, what the fuck is hold? Like that seems
Hold.
very prevalent in everything in this game. So can you describe
Yeah.
what that is, Steven?
So hold is kind of like you just have tokens and you hold on to them until you decide to spend them, and you can spend them at any time to do the things listed underneath there. So like for Maggie, she might roll, or sorry, for Emberly, she might go into a battle and decide, well, I want to really change the way this battle comes out. So she rolls and she gets a 7 to 9. So she holds 2. At any point during the battle, she can spend her hold 1 for 1 in order to do any of those things down there. And that's also in a basic move as well. If you want to read a person, you gain hold and then you can spend it to ask that person questions.
Okay. And so we every
so it's
time
really,
we
I think it's going to be really beneficial, especially for my class and for, you know, our situation.
Sounds like you are like, no shit, a force to be reckoned with on the battlefield, Miss Touchstone, Miss Emberly. Okay, cool. We've gone through everybody's moves now, right?
yes.
Yeah. So just go down, choose some gear for yourself from the gear list.
Okay.
Our gun lugger will have to choose one of his fuck off big guns, 2 serious guns, and 1 backup weapon.
That's honestly why I wanted to play the Juggernaut, because he got like a massive mech. It just went
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
and it just sounded
But-
dope.
Our driver Bubba is going to have to choose what you have 2 cars now, right?
Yes.
Did you get?
Well, I have
collectors?
my other car is a tank, and then I have my main car.
Yeah. Okay. So choose your gear and then describe your cars according to what's on the first page there.
Okay. I'll choose my gear, then I'll do that aloud.
Yeah.
So it says I get 1. Oh, okay. Never mind. It lists the handy weapons below.
Yep.
Obviously, I get the sawed off.
So for things like 2 harm,
Yeah.
You can see that down in the bottom of the sheet, there's this clock, like 12, 3, 6, 9 in a circle that's quartered. Each segment is 1 harm. Harm before 6 o'clock heals over time. Harm after 9 o'clock, it gets worse over time. If you take 2 harm, you mark the 12 and the 3 segments, for example.
Jesus. Okay.
And armor,
Yeah,
like
we'll have
1
to cover that a
armor
few times.
reduces the amount of harm you take by 1. So if you get hit with 3 arm and you're wearing 3 harm and you're wearing 2 armor, you get 1 damage goes through, 1 harm goes through.
So I don't get any armor then, because I don't have that listed in my gear, correct?
Doesn't look like you get any armor, but you have a car.
Yeah, yeah. Wait, so oddment's worth
Car
2
equals
barter.
like armor.
What-
You have a tank, dude. You have
Right.
freaking armor.
Right.
You have like the
Yeah,
most
you do.
armor.
So it says oddment's worth 2 barter. Is 2 barter like, is that like the currency, like gold?
Yeah,
So I just make that up?
Barter is kind of anything. Just write down 2 barter.
Okay.
And that can be anything. And like maybe some of it is in VHS, right? Like,
Sure.
You have a couple copies of old movies. What I'm thinking, I'm getting a feeling here, right? Like it's post-apocalyptic. There's still some electricity, still some entertainment, but only people, like the only entertainment people have access to is really lo-fi entertainment because it still works.
Yeah.
And so VHS tapes are incredibly valuable because all of a sudden you've got this drunk, raging, furious population that can, instead of having a battle and like, a riot, they can go sit in a room somewhere and watch a VHS.
Sure.
And so like
Okay.
that's actually really valuable.
Cool. I went 2 barter, then sawed-off shotgun. Although I'm making my own cheat, so I don't know if you want to do that all. So
Sweet.
describing my car, I have to choose one of these profiles.
Yep. You do this for each of your cars.
It doesn't have car
It's
number
the best
1.
one, JP.
Car number 1 is on your second sheet
Is
in
it?
the bottom right. It just says your car.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I choose. Okay, so I got to choose one of these profiles. Okay.
Yeah.
Power
So like
looks.
we're talking
armor.
about your first car, right?
Right.
Yeah. Like what kind of a car is it?
Well, it's a tractor.
It's a
right off the bat.
tractor.
Yeah, I drive a tractor.
Fuck yes.
Oh my gosh.
So let me write that down.
A
Looks.
fucking crap.
Bubba
Armor
driving
fucking
his
feet.
tractor around. I love it.
Tractor.
Yeah.
Bubba, have you ever found anybody who thinks your tractor's sexy?
Yeah, I mean there were
Oh my God, I
songs
was
written about the tractor.
Who is it?
Who is it? What that has written
Yeah.
the song?
Tell me the name of the person who thinks your tractor is sexy.
The person that thinks my tractor is sexy is my girlfriend Eileen.
Eileen.
Yeah. However, she was killed. So right after this happened, I found this woman named Eileen, and
Yeah.
she said, "Hey, I like your tractor. It's sexy."
Yeah.
Right after that, the town that we were in, or whatever, if there's not towns, the encampment or whatnot,
Yeah.
was attacked, and she ended up dying. She took a shot to the head right in front of me.
Okay.
And so that's why I just drive. I drive through towns, and I don't like staying in towns because I'm always fearful of it being constantly attacked and being rampaged and ravaged through.
Do you have any like keepsakes from Eileen?
Yeah, she had a necklace, and the necklace is just what would be like a not very, because it can't be like gold or silver. That would be worth way too much.
I mean, it could be like a semi-precious stone or something like that, or like
Yeah, I just want. So it was just like a metal like dog tag necklace, and it had a bottle cap on the end of it.
okay, bottle cap necklace.
Oh. It's so cute.
Do you know who killed her?
No, it was just as soon as it happened, I was kind of shocked and a little bit afraid as her head literally exploded in front of mine, and her blood went all over my face and whatnot. And after I got over that,
So
the 4 or 5 seconds, I just got out of town. I never saw who did it or what.
Yeah. So this was like a big raid on this town.
Yes, yeah.
Okay. Cool.
They
awesome.
just sacked this town.
Bubba's a nomadic tractor rider.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was the other thing too.
That's so much gas.
As I was leaving this town, the tractor's not very fast, right? So like I had to fend for myself, and people were trying to get onto the tractor.
Yeah.
And so I was using my shot-off shotgun to shoot them off of it as I slowly left this town.
Absolutely.
And eventually they just gave up because it was too much of a fight for them.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So I'm gonna let you go ahead and detail the rest of your car number 1, and we'll come back to you for car number 2.
Sure.
Kind gun lugger man, Evan Masters. Can you tell us about your guns?
Yeah. So
Tell us about your weapons.
my gun arsenal includes an assault rifle and a hunting rifle and a 9mm. All of
Yep.
my guns are also armor piercing.
Damn, dude.
I've chosen to not take a fourth weapon and just go armor piercing instead. Well, I mean, you know what? You would too. One day when suddenly you're trying to hold down a bunker and fucking 30 cross, you hear this muffled yelling like, "Whoa, fuck yeah!" and
Yeah.
I'm like, what? And we look
Borderlands
over just as
flashbacks
the
happening
sun
right
is
now.
going down, and there's like 30 guys with random primitive weapons running at us with buckets. Now, bullets are still hard to come by, and at that point I was like, I will only carry armor-piercing bullets because I will never face another buckethead group of cross again and be stuck in that situation where I cannot take care of the problem.
Damn straight. So your big fuck off gun is an assault rifle. Do you have a name for that gun?
Well, I've thought long and hard about a name for my gun. But no, I don't.
Okay.
I don't have a name for this gun.
That's fine. So the profile of the assault rifle is 3 harm. So when you shoot somebody with it, they take 3 harm. It's
Right.
close, which means you have to be able to see the whites of their eyes to do damage to them with it. If it's far, you don't have to see the whites of their eyes. You can shoot
Right.
them from really far away. If it's loud, it means basically like people are going to notice when you shoot it. It might make children cry, that kind of thing. Auto fire means you can just hold down the trigger and blast.
Sure. And then
Let me
grenades.
see here.
Grenades.
And then
is my last.
grenades.
Yes.
Well, hang on. You get 1 big fuck off gun, 2
Right.
serious guns, 1 backup weapon.
Right. But I chose
Um,
AP as one of my serious guns.
Yes. So assault rifle, 9mm AP ammo.
And then the hunting rifle. It was the other serious gun.
Oh, but AP ammo
like
is
it.
a serious gun.
Right, but you get 2 serious guns as a gun lugger.
But one of them is AP ammo, and one of them is your hunting rifle. So, yes, no, of course, I've got that here. Okay,
Yeah.
now I'm with you. So you have assault rifle, hunting rifle, 9mm, and armor-piercing rounds.
Yes, and the grenades is my. Oh wait, no, wait is
No,
the
you don't get
9mm
grenades
Oh wait,
because you said
oh, wait.
9mm was your backup
You're right.
weapon.
You're right. So actually, maybe I will. I feel like I gotta have the grenades, man.
Okay,
I'll take
You can
off
take
the
grenades.
9mm.
Grenade launcher.
I'm gonna take the 9mm off.
awesome,
Take the grenades.
cool. You've got armor worth 2 armor. So like 1 armor, that can be sort of whatever. It could be like an armored corset or like a butcher's apron, anything like that. But 2 armor is like you're walking around in armor. It might be like made out of a car, but it's serious body armor. What does your body armor look like?
Well, it's kind of interesting because it looks light in some areas, and that's because a majority of the armor is dedicated to my crotch area, and so
Okay.
it's very heavy down there. So it appears maybe lighter than it actually is, because I feel like I have to repopulate this world someday. And that's like one of the most valuable things that I can protect. But aside from that, there's a mixed match of various armor, and yes, some of it is like Kevlar pieces that have been put back together, and various plates, because over travels, like, you just find the best of what will protect that area. So it can look kind of bulky, but you can't actually tell for the most part.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, let's go to Emberly. What kind of gear
Oh
are
my
you wearing?
gosh, that's freaking hilarious. So I guess my character gets like a symbol.
Yeah.
And I was thinking that it would be kind of neat for my character because she, like you said before, she did kind of have this long history. And I think that, the turning point or the epiphany in her life was, for a while she was just, doing what everyone else was doing, trying to survive, right? And then
Mhm.
she met this fellow who was like, hey, you don't have to like kill me to get what you want. There's other ways around this, and there's ways that we can work together to like make a better society. And it was kind of like the turning point in my life.
Yeah.
And he gave me like this little bracelet that has like a little dove on it, and it's kind of like my symbol that there is a future that can come and that is possible. And
Awesome.
that's the thing that keeps me going.
What's it a symbol
It's
of?
the reminder. It's the symbol of the future that is only now becoming possible.
Oh,
And
very
it's
nice.
yeah.
So you were almost killing this guy, and he said, "You don't have to kill me to get what you want." What did you want?
All his things. Duh. I mean,
You wanted all his stuff, and so
all
he
the
gave it to
things.
you.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, he didn't give it to me, but like we shared it. We kind of, had this
Oh.
place that it was kind of like a shelter bunker, and this is kind of how I've gone through life now, as you know, like I'm nomadically moving from place to place because, it's not always safe to stay in one place. And also I want to like help all these mini societies kind of build and progress. So, that was the first time that I've had that happen. And we slowly started helping more people, and they came, and it was kind of like a survival group. And, we slowly grew from there.
What was his name? This guy who turned you around.
We'll call him Eli. There we go.
Eli.
I like that name.
I like that name too. It's a good name.
Yeah, it's a good name. Eli. Beautiful. All right, let's hear from Bubba about his second car, and then we're done with character creation, and we'll probably take a 5-minute break, come back, and get kicking.
So I have some questions for you, Steve. Can I choose, like, is the only means of weapon on this car a grenade launcher, or the second car? Or can I choose a second means that is not a gun, but it's just a part of the car?
So I'm looking here. You could take spikes and plates on it as its look.
Right.
And like that's the way it is, right? You have spikes and plates on your car. Fine. But other than that, I think for now I'd like to stick to the descriptions under your cars.
Okay, well, here's what I'm going to do. So the tank, or as it would be, that's what it resembles, but it's actually not a tank. It is a construction/utility, and that's the frame. What it actually is an old cement truck that I took out the giant drum in the back and replaced it with a giant grenade launcher.
Oh, God, yes.
Nice.
Oh, that's amazing.
Oh,
Giant
man.
cement truck
JP's character, freaking awesome.
with grenade launcher
if
on
I
the back.
can-
Is that like... JP, does that grenade launcher like rotate? Is it like
Oh yeah, it's a
mounted on the
full-on
back?
360 grenade launcher.
Oh God,
yeah.
yes.
The entire drum was removed, and I just put a grenade launcher on the back.
So you actually need someone else in the car to control the grenade launcher.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. Do I need someone else? Like, can it be controlled by me somehow? That's up to you.
I'll say that I think you can definitely control it while you're driving because you've rigged up like some strings or whatever.
Yeah.
But if you're driving while you're firing this rear-mounted grenade launcher, it's acting under fire, and the fire is you're distracted by driving.
Gotcha. Okay.
Awesome.
That's totally fine with me. I would imagine that it's more of a artillery type vehicle than it is a fast moving vehicle, obviously.
Yeah. So can you quick give me your power, looks, armor, and weak?
Yeah. 2, 1, 2, 2. That's power, looks, armor, weak in that order. 2, 1, 2,
Cool.
2.
And
That's
what
the
are your
final one.
tags?
The tags for the construction utility vehicle are huge. Actually, I'm going to take out the second one. So I need to, let's say, huge and workhorse.
Okay.
It is handcrafted as the looks, and it is slow and loud.
Slow and loud,
And
handcrafted.
For the first one, did you get?
Fucking God.
Did you get my tractor?
No, tell
So
me about your tractor.
The tractor is 2122. It's easily repaired, a workhorse, powerful, slow, and a gas guzzler.
Workhorse.
Because it's a fucking tractor.
Powerful, slow, gas guzzler.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. I was like, man, how are we going to afford this tractor?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Okay, so we'll take a break. When we come back, we'll do history with each other and then kick off the action.
Exactly, guys. We'll see you in about 3 minutes here. We take breaks every single hour. See you then. Thanks for watching.
Toodles.